Hey guys, welcome. Welcome aboard. If you're brand new, welcome back. If you're not, welcome home. If that sits just fine for you, depending, of course, on where you happen to be in relation to this channel, these messages this week, and all that good stuff. Let's talk about the astrology and the messaging for this week. This week being the 21st of August through the 27th of August, 2023. So on Monday we start with a Libra moon. That moon is going to quincunx both Uranus and Neptune. And then the Leo sun is going to quincunx Pluto. The moon will square Pluto, sextile the sun, and then move into Scorpio just in time for dinner. Monday might feel a little bit out of tune. So if you're feeling any kind of disengagement, focus your attention inward and remind yourself that anywhere you're out of balance is an invitation to be in self-awareness and self-correction. There are big energetic swirls around you, and it might kind of feel like a tsunami or an earthquake or other sort of seismic upset. Keep reminding yourself that that is all an illusion. Sink your roots absolutely as deep as you need to, remembering that infinity is the limit of your depth. And just make sure that you feel that solidness in and as yourself. On Tuesday, the 22nd, that Scorpio moon is going to trine Saturn, and then Venus in retrograde will square Jupiter. Mars will oppose Neptune, and then that Scorpio moon is going to square Venus and oppose Jupiter, right? So a lack of focus or attention in the morning might lead you to some, let's call it, unresolvable challenges later in the day, or what feels like unresolvable challenges, right? So if there's nothing that you can do, just release it, along with any tendencies to blame yourself or criticize yourself or hold on to that. Claim the lesson and then just kind of lean into that self-forgiveness. On Wednesday, the 23rd, the sun moves into Virgo, 4:01 Central Time. Like, welcome Virgo season. Okay. That's always a good time of year, right? Always that time to get your business together. The Scorpio moon will quincunx Chiron, sextile Mercury, and and then oppose Uranus. And at 2:59 Central Time, Mercury goes retrograde. At 21 degrees Virgo, as a matter of fact. And, Mercury will back up all the way to 8 Virgo on the 15th of September. So we'll talk a little bit about Mercury retrograde later, but just, keep in mind that as we witness retrograde season, the key is always to turn your attentions inward and really witness your own patterns. So later on in the day, that Scorpio moon will trine Neptune and sextile Mars. So welcoming Virgo season and Mercury retrograde in Virgo on the same day, right? That messenger planet is really involving himself very deeply in the energies of the week. We've got a kind of a, let's call it a loose Pluto, Uranus, Mars square, or trine in the air. Hello. And then also the moon and Chiron are going to be all drawn into that energetic. So the invitation is to really make assessments with discernment, right? And really resist the temptation to slide into judgment. Find the undercurrent and the origins of your patterns, right? The currents and the origins, and then claim your place as the only person who has the power to shift any of that positioning. And really, again, I cannot stress this enough, at all costs, resist the urge to slide into self-criticism. Instead, choose whatever the experience is as a lesson, right? An invitation to look more deeply and not call it criticism. On Thursday the 24th, that Scorpio moon is going to sextile Pluto, and then the moon moves into Sagittarius. That Sag moon is going to square the Virgo sun and Saturn also, and then Mars in Virgo will trine Pluto in the evening. So if you can't be in, let's call it implementation, choose that unstructured energy as kind of a free fall and see what happens, right? Use that bird's eye view of the free fall to maybe show you a path you didn't necessarily know was there, right? And whether that path is a learning or an experience, just witness it for what it is, right? An insight. And then make sure that you're steering clear of any kind of drama, whether that's yours or someone else's, and lean into your actions as a portal for your own transformation, right? Because we know that what other people are doing is none of our business. So just make sure that you're choosing to always be self-reflexive with what's going on around you. On Friday, the 25th, that Sag moon is very busy. The Sag moon trines Venus and Chiron, quincunxes both Uranus and Jupiter, and trines, and squares Mercury. Oh, hey, hello, friend. So again, we've got a loose fire trine with Venus and the moon and Chiron. So this is a day when you might find that ghosts from your old stories might materialize kind of in the periphery today. So call upon every tool in your toolkit to banish them and maintain your current narrative as healing, healed, home, right? So your capacity to express might feel a little bit immersive today, even to the point of feeling a little bit smothering. So just keep breathing and keep aligning, right? Keep aligning to where you're going instead of where you've been. On Saturday, the 26th, that Sag moon is going to square Neptune and Mars, and then move into Capricorn in the morning. So make sure that you're going to focus on getting things done. And then that Cap moon is going to square the sun and sextile Saturn. So if you're having challenges with your clarity or your function, right? Or if there's an echo of dream time that kind of gives you a little haunt, yeah, pay attention. Definitely go time is going to feel like urgency today. And mind that doesn't become pressure, right? We can have urgency that's not pressured urgency. So just pay attention. Let your tasks be reflections of your heart and your soul and your dedication to those things, as opposed to feeling like obligatory or like a responsibility to someone else. Make sure that you're serving yourself. On Sunday, the 27th, that Virgo sun is, going to oppose Saturn, and that Cap moon will quincunx Venus. And then Mars moves into Libra at 8:20 Central Time. The Cap moon will trine Jupiter and Mercury and Uranus and square Chiron. So this is a lighter energetic on Sunday, definitely a lighter energetic requirement. So find the balance in yourself and in your service, and then create from there, always keeping that eye toward home, right? If you can be solid in your foundations, what you're building is going to amplify that message. Of course, the converse is absolutely true. So make sure that you're choosing wisely. And if you're so inclined, take a risk on Sunday of something that will amplify your own sense of home, right? What it looks like, tastes like, smells like, feels like for you. If there's a risk to be taken on Sunday, lean in, see what happens. So let's talk. On Monday. We've got the World and the Nine of Cups. This is really lovely energy, especially for a day that we want to talk about perhaps feeling a little bit seismic. And making sure that we're sinking our roots deeply. So the World is this card of completion and achievement, right? Where we really witness the integration of our cycles. And the Nine of Cups is a card of wish fulfillment, right? So this is all about making sure that you're aware that you are the person responsible for your emotional fulfillment. And so again, if we're talking about those big energetic swirls, really knowing that you are your own foundation, you are your deepest roots, and really just allowing that to sink in and witness where you happen to be in your cycle at any given moment in time. You're learning the lessons, right? You're the one that's moving, not everything around you. You're moving through it. So, just pay attention to the fact that sometimes what's out there is an illusion and you are that fulcrum, right? So pay attention and just remember that you're the one making the journey. On Tuesday, the 22nd, again, we have the Nine of Pentacles and the Chariot. So the Nine of Pentacles, this is about understanding that you are responsible for your own resources in exactly the way the Nine of Cups speaks to your emotional state. This speaks to your resourced state. So this is self-sufficiency. This is I've got this. And the Chariot really is a card of duality, right? This is moving forward, keeping in mind head and heart, keeping in mind love and logic, internal and external. And so it's finding that balance as you're moving. So we talked about if there's a lack of focus or attention, it really might lead to some big challenges later. So make sure that you're keeping all of your big pictures in mind. Now that sounds like a hard thing to do. The key, think 2 minutes ahead, right? And if you don't end up thinking 2 minutes ahead and you make a choice you want to remake the choice. It's yours. These 2 nines are reminding you you're in control, right? You have on Wednesday the Six of Wands and the Ace of Pentacles. How lovely. So we're talking about victory and a new opportunity, right? A new way to have something come in for you. So Virgo season is going to start out strong, even with Mercury retrograde, right? And what does Mercury retrograde ask us? Just to turn inside and make sure that the way that we're traveling, right, is the correct way. So make sure that we're going to use that discernment, not judgment. Make sure that we're going to really claim our power, right? Look, those aces are things that are given to you straight from the universe. They have to be grasped with gratitude, and then you have to act on them. Here you are on your horse, ready to act. That's beautiful. Your victory is assured. So instead of criticizing what's happening, choose that lesson instead, right? And guess what? You can recognize yourself as the victor there. On Thursday, the 24th, boy, we've got the Ten of Wands. And what do we got? The Queen of Cups. Okay, so beautiful. So the Ten of Wands is a card of overwhelm, right? This is, I have said yes to way too many things, and I have to put something down. I can't carry what I have said yes to. So again, we're talking about coming out of that day of using your discernment, right, to know what's going on. So we're looking for that bird's eye view. We're looking to steer clear of drama. And guess what? The Queen of Cups fearlessly, oh wait, that's a king. Sorry, couldn't read it. My finger was over it. Okay, so if we're going to talk about a King of Cups, that's even better. So this is how we absolutely take that one step back. You know, here in Eileen Land, we're talking about kings as one step back from full embodiment, right? This is where we exercise our discernment. And the danger with king energy is to use that judgment. So how are you going to make your decisions about what to put down? Well, the message here is to please make sure that you're looking at what fulfills you, right? You already know. So don't be afraid to balance it out for yourself. That's how this works, right? And everything is definitely that portal for your own transformation. All those things, all those wands that you said yes to, and then you get to put down, all those things cannot be the overarching yes. They just can't be. You have to have priority. You have to have discernment when it comes to the way you're going to spend your energy. Because not only are you creating your life from that, and you want that to be focused instead of scattered, you never know what's going to happen. If you have too many plates spinning, you have no concept of how to choose mastery. We can't master infinite things in this one lifetime. You have to choose, right? And your discernment here is going to allow you to put down the things that are not for you, that are not in line with that home resonance. Now, look, we have a queen here. We have a queen and a 7 of pentacles. So 7 of pentacles is about patience and waiting. Queen of wands is about leaning in, right, with all that big yes energy. So this is absolute, total, and complete fearless embodiment of passion and inspiration and the things that set you on fire. So if we're looking for ghosts in the corners, right, we're going to be distracted. We don't have a way to lean in. So how can you call on all of your toolkit, right? The Queen of Wands doesn't really need to think about what she wants to do. She already knows. She's so in tune with her own sense of embodied ignition, right? And so the balance there is the 7 of Pentacles that says, am I going to wait, right? So if we're choosing sometimes to be an expression, sometimes we have to use our, again, discernment, right? We have that loose fire trine with Venus and the moon and Chiron. Are you getting in your own way? Are you? Sometimes we do. Sometimes we're impulsive. Sometimes that urge to say a thing or to express it in a big way needs to have that judicious discernment kind of pulled in. So where do you need to rein yourself in? Make sure that you're not reining yourself in based on trauma history. Make sure that you're using your discernment as opposed to, like self-censoring. On Saturday, the 26th, we have the 10 of Pentacles and the 5 of Pentacles. So really interesting dichotomy here. We talked about this as a day where we might really feel urgency or pressure. So the 5 of Pentacles is, where do I perceive myself to be in scarcity, right? The standard Rider-Waite is about being left out in the cold. And then we have the 10, which is legacy. This is, look at what I've created. How have I created this abundant life? So these are really diametrically opposed cards. This is perception, right? The 5 of Pentacles is a perception. So if you're feeling a thing as urgency, that's one thing, right? I have to be mindful of what I'm doing. I have to plan my steps carefully based on what I believe in as my own dedication, as my own devotion, as my own vision. And then the 5 kind of gets in the way, right? There's a sense of pressure that comes from the outside. What I have to do, what it needs to look like, where I want to go is determined by someone else, because we can't believe in scarcity if we're in our own abundance, right? It just doesn't balance. So make sure that you're pulling from your dedication and your devotion. Very much so. And then, hello, look at this. Sunday. We talked about this as a day of lighter energy. And the divination gives us the 10 of Cups, or the 10 of Cups. The 10 of Swords and the 3 of Swords. This is inevitable ending and feeling of loss and betrayal. So this is really choosing to let something go. This is choosing to shift an idea, right? And we talked about this as a day to find your balance in yourself and your service and create from there, always keeping that eye toward home. Well, here's the thing. Sometimes our ideas, again, are shaped by other people, right? Sometimes if we're so involved in other people's drama or conversations, we forget that this might not be what we want, right? And so sometimes we have to realign in the middle of retrograde season. We have to let go of the ideas that are bringing us pain or sorrow, because these are just ideas, right? This is my idea of, anything, my pattern behavior, my communication, the way that I intake data, the way that I output data. Something here needs a disruption because it's untenable, right? So how can you really make sure that what you're building is a solid foundation for you? Well, guess what? If it feels terrible, it's not a solid foundation. If you don't love it, then you're going to amplify something that you don't love. So if that's the case, it's time to shift, right? Because we know that if we're amplifying something that makes us feel terrible, then we're going to get more of that. So pay attention. Pay attention. We have always for you, right? And so the key here is that absolutely everything that's coming at you right now is taking you closer to where you want to be. Whether that road is witnessed as challenging or whether that road is witnessed as full of opportunity is up to you, but it's always for you. And then we have this lovely, absolutely beautiful sea turtle. I love these little cards. They're so beauty-miss. Let's see what the message here is, because I sure like it. All right. The sea turtle is a gentle creature with a long lifespan and can swim over vast distances. It can take decades to reach full maturity, granting them insight and wisdom only accumulated through time and experience, right? Sea turtles represent the journey and share their infinite patience as you walk the path and learn from the lessons given along the way. Absolutely. When the sea turtle comes into your life, it may be time to look at the big picture and determine your needs for the long haul. Are you ready for the future? Now is the time to start planning, right? So this is about enjoying the journey, which we see here in abundance, right? We're talking about movement and really paying attention to what baggage you're carrying on this journey. And this week, as we move into Virgo season, and we have Mercury retrograde and, Mars moves into Libra, we need to pay attention. We've even got a Jupiter-Venus square this week. So this is about what are you amplifying and how is it going to carry you forward in your journey, right? We do have wisdom over time, and I think that sometimes the ideas that have served us in the past don't serve us as we get further along down the road. So knowing, really understanding that discernment is your birthright, right? It's your invitation, it's your opportunity, it's all of those things. So the more that you can manage in your own discernment, right? We've got tens and tens, we've got the world. Wow, we've got a lot of tens. We have 3 tens and the world. Tens are integration, right? Nines are learning the lesson, right? That's a cycle, but tens are integration of that learning. And so that sometimes is only done in hindsight. So make sure that you're taking stock and make sure that you really are using that discernment as we move forward. Clearly, that is super important. And again, you set this up, so yeah, beautiful. Carry your wisdom, right? It's all in your shell. It's all in your shell. And you're always protected, right? Remember that part too. Take care. Big, giant blessings. Make sure, remember, okay, the other thing that I just got was, in retrograde season, what's important is what's happening under the protection of that shell, right? That's where your work is done. In the protected silence of that shell. So make sure that even though you have motion in the external, that really the real work is done under that shell. So know you're protected, and yeah, do that. Okay, hit the subscribe button, guys, and have a great week. We'll talk soon. Big blessings.